I was on the one, but I wasn't. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Get this stuff. Look right. Uh-oh. Come back. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Livestream. We are playing with all sorts of stuff. We got so much to cover today. My gosh. We got this. There's an updated version of Labs. Where's Labs? Uh-oh. I updated Labs, but I haven't installed it yet. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get everything. Hello, my name's John Limcool. Little bit disoriented because it's just that kind of thing here. So go over and say, install the new Labs that I have updated for everybody to enjoy. It has all the new libraries that Labs has released. Let me put a link into the chat and into our video description. I forgot to do that. Let's see, Unified Labs update. Copy the link right there. Go here. Let's see here. I've got this going on. Live stream is happening. There you are. Hello, everybody. Oh, there's the video. Okay. Just make sure I can see you all. Welcome. I'm going to actually, let's see here. So Dropbox is showing me that. We don't need Dropbox right now. So go there. So we can play this. We can go to Labs. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on one second here. We're going to do a little live surgery on the spot because that should not have done what it just did. It should be, let me see, revealing the Finder. Let's go up here to Libraries, Spitfire Labs. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. I forgot to name the library right. So here, don't download the library yet. Library renamer. I'm sorry for the mess up. We're going to use the library namer together and go Unified Spitfire Labs. Because that's the name of the library. We drag over the folder. Boom, all 527 patches are named correctly. Let me update the library really quick. This will just take a second, and then you guys get the new Labs. It's really, really cool. Go to the desktop. Let's see. And we want to go over here to Unify, to Labs. Oh, this is a lot to do. You guys are going to get the whole tour. So we got to say, new libraries folder, librarie, open, paste, close, compress, rename this Spitfire Audio Labs Unified .guru. Yes, we want to use Guru, and then I put this into, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the desktop to this folder and actually get the correct name for this file. Paste. Put that here. Compress. Copy. Go back to Dropbox. Unified libraries. It's not gonna let me paste. Okay. Nice. Okay, so here, go to here, replace. There. Spitfire Labs 1122, right there. So copy that link. And now I can give you guys hot off the presses Labs updated. Inspiring practice. Spitfire Labs. Spitfire Audio Labs Unified Update. That we did here in the Unify update. There it is, also in the video description. And we can check to make sure it works. Let's see here. Go back to Unify. We should now see Spitfire Audio Labs, all of the patches, 527 patches. The artwork is slightly updated. Now, for those of you who don't know what this is a free, really amazing plugin from Spitfire Audio. If we go over here to fireaudio.com, they have an application that you can download to see what is going on. Oh, Spitfire Audio. We make sound for compose. There we go. If you go over here to free, to labs, I believe there's a either it's here for the download, or else you can go to support. Getting started would probably be how to get labs. You end up with an application, right? Getting labs, frequently asked questions. What is labs? Labs is free to use. Only need Spitfire Audio app, which you can download here. So click here. You go to the Spitfire Audio app, right? And you download the version that you need for Windows or Mac. And then you run the Spitfire Labs app. And then you can go over here to the Labs tab, and you'll see all of these libraries. They are all free. I've already installed Gaelic Voices. I don't know what it says. I don't, but it sometimes takes a little bit of work, but these are pretty incredible libraries. And then we have unified all of the patches so that they can be loaded up in Unify, which is far easier, in my opinion, than this crazy interface that they have where you're scrolling literally forever unless you click one of these, and then you're just only scrolling a little bit, but you still don't see the library name. It's what it is. It is what they have for their interface. We have it in a different way where it's all organized. You see the library names over here. You can choose any patch. If I choose Glass Piano, this is Philip Glass's piano. And they're not like massive 20 velocity switches, but they are at least multiple samples. And then the joy of Unify is that we can go over here and say Unify layer for our loading mode. And I can click anything else. I can go down here. There's all these really, really cool pads. Let's see, piano pads right here. Click one of these and it will load these really nice pads. So it's kind of this amazing 527 patches if you download all of the libraries in the Labs app that they give you access to. It's about 3 gigabytes, I believe at this point. There's a lot. It's a lot. There's times where you're going to have to learn all about going over here and clicking the repair tab, or going over here and clicking the reset tab, because that's kind of the process sometimes to get things to work. But believe me, it is worth the effort. On top of that, not only are there all these really nice, I just added the soft piano, which is this really beautiful, so we added that. And then if we wanted, you can keep going crazy. Let's put it back to the load mode of normal. About a year and a half ago, I opened the door up and we all made patches for this. have all these really cool patches that use all of those labs libraries. I made a bunch of the patches. All of you guys, we're going to actually open this up in December to let it be. We're going to make a new library of labs patches because it's a free, just incredible resource. And they've now added Gaelic choir and all sorts of things. It's a no-brainer to add to Unify as a really, really, really great place to work with. Just installed, something's wrong. Huh? I don't understand, creator. So I'm going to take just one more second. I'm sending out an email blast to everybody. Here's the new library. The $2. Continue. I'm sending out an email. If you guys are on the mailing list, you're going to get this email. But I want to open the door, and we've had quite a few people take advantage of the sale. Yay. Thank you to all you guys. Uh-oh, edit. I forgot something. What did I forget on the page? Now, save and close. Continue. What did I do wrong? Come on, MailChimp. Don't hold us up. To send mail, remove or replace the placeholder text. Input caption here. Edit. Oh. I missed something. Let me look at this. Because I want to get other people that have just added Unify to their... input caption. I see. Live stream is happening now. Join Guru. You guys are Guru Nation, right? Okay. Thank you, MailChimp. There's some place that I hadn't put anything in, so I hit send. Send. Oh, wow. We're over 10,000 into my mailing list. That means MailChimp's going to charge me more money. But this way, everybody can join. I just want people that are new to Unify to join us to see what's going on. So let's see if we get a little wave of new people joining us as we are playing today. Yeah, there's challenges with labs in that you have to use their app. You have to go over here for some of the libraries where if they get something wrong, go to the reset the entire library, re-download. I tell you, it's a bit of work. It took quite a bit of time to finally get all these libraries to show up and be inside of labs and show up when you call up the patches inside of Unify. But they are there. Let's see. Gaelic choir is the new one, which is right here. Gaelic voices, which has so these are all new samples. Oh, yeah, beware of the limit. I think that's for retail products. I don't think they put a limit on the free labs libraries because I haven't run into that limit. Yeah, Abram, I think that's for the libraries that, like, I have also purchased quite a few libraries from Spitfire Audio. And if you go to the My Products, these are libraries that you will have to hit the reset and contact if you overuse your authorizations. On the free ones, I don't think they have a limit. Yeah, Bulgarian mystery voices. Anyway, Labs is a wonderful resource of free software libraries made by Spitfire Audio. They go all. And again, the joy of Unify is just go over to Unify layer and you can put the plucks with the pad. And then we could put the rock plucks with it too. And the rock ones I want to have, let's do this. Let's go over here and say new auxiliary effect. Let's add from distortion, let's use a swanky amp. And what I'm going to do is let's call up just one of the really cool edgy rock guitars. And then I'm going to solo this. Check this out. So you turn down the D, that's the direct signal. And let's turn up the send. Actually double click to set to 0. That will put the sound, so it's 100% going into auxiliary 2. That versus that doesn't sound good. There you go. And we could go to the swanky amp and modify parameters. You should check out Swanky Amp Pro if you like this. It's even better and more incredible. And then if we wanted, we could click right here and add any kind of effect we wanted. What might be fun with this is to go to Uhi. Oh, I don't have them all, but the spring reverb would be really cool. So now add that to the guitar and the guitar pad and then we could pan the distortion to one side, the dry to another, and let's give the dry. We're going for a yes, like big generator. Add a bass to it, and off you go. But that's the flexibility with Unify. Just like that, you can send a signal 100% to an auxiliary effect by using the D, turn it down, and then just send the auxiliary. That sends it, so it now becomes like an auxiliary effect, but now everybody else can share that auxiliary effect for distortions and compressors. You can make a big chain of a compression chain, then put a whole bunch of different layers through it if you want. Very, very flexible, very, very fun. All right, so welcome to everybody. Again, my name is John Limcool. This is our live stream we do every Saturday. Right, purchase libraries. Yeah, Swanky Amp. It's great. Anyway, we have a lot to cover. So, number one, Unified Labs has been updated with the new libraries. There's some new drums. If you say drums. There's this new vintage drums, which and an animal kit. And then the normal drums. And then I made drum grooves. Like here's drum grooves. And these with the knobs. You can use the pattern to change between different patterns. If I bring this down, see how we're changing the MIDI file. So all of these are available to you through the Spitfire Labs and Unify with the Unified Library. So that is a wonderful place to get all sorts of wonderful, juicy new patches for Unify to play with. And it's free. So it's kind of one of those no-brainers to add to Unify and to add to your personal collection, because all of these trumpet fields is really, really cool. The textural pads, the tape pianos. So many different pianos. And again, it's just so fun to just go Unify layer and then click like some hollow woods. Right? We can even go over to the new library Dreamstate that we'll be looking at in a minute here. Let's add something like You Save Me. This is a really cool pad. Yeah, so fun things like that are all easily able to be added and worked with. So check that out. The new library that I've just released is called Dreamstate for Unify. Let me show you that really quick. We also got new synth from Cherry Audio that's pretty mind-blowing. We have Korg Collection Volume 4. There's other goodies to show you too, so we're not done. So anyway, at pluginguru.com, my website, Black Friday sale is going on this weekend, and this is the biggest sale of the year. Even this new library is 51% off. Unify is $59. This is the third time Unify has been on sale in almost 3 years. All of the patch libraries, if you go to the products page, you will see all of the patch libraries are available at 51% off. So this is the best prices you will see for over 80 libraries. Wow, I didn't know I had it. But the Wavestate bundle, I'll probably take that off the sale. It's supposed to be single libraries only, not bundles, because bundles are 33% off already. But I didn't check that, so it's there for the most. So if you own the Wavestate, that's a pretty cool library. Anyway, this new library is kind of a fun one in that I took in June. I showed you guys a plugin called Novum. Here's a quick tip. That will be one of my. I'm going to be making a video on my favorite, both free plugins, and a separate video on the favorite paid plugins. Novum is one of my favorite plugins you can buy. It's not free, but it is a wonderful granular synthesizer that's actually playable, I guess is the best way to describe it, because most synthesizers that go into a granular synthesis mode, where it's basically granular, means it's playing pieces of the sample, little grains. And if I go here to the size, I can get even smaller sizes. Bring up the density. Let's go over to the synth. You hear all of that. It's taking the little samples from the sample. And what's fun with Novum is you literally can take anything. Let's go over here to my sample libraries folder. I could go to drum loops. This is a drum loop. Let's drag over a drum loop. And now it's doing its thing to drum loops. And you can have it where it plays everything without what they call jilt, which is random timing. You can edit to sync, actually. You can go to this page here where you can say, I want the loop start here. Playback mode is back and forward. Right? But you go to timbre, position jilt, it starts to play different pieces. Skew is the shape. time. And what's amazing is it's doing all this crazy thousands of little grains. And yeah, my computer's working quite a bit. But if you try this in like Omnisphere or other synthesizers that have granular engines, and then size just makes it so it's going to play longer pieces of grains. And you can literally put any sample you want into this. Then there's really cool effects. So in June, I showed this to you guys in a live stream. And I've been kind of building a library. Well, I have been building a library in Novum. And then I sampled those sounds for the Unify library. So the Dreamstate library is actually 3 libraries in one. There's the Dreamstate for Novum, which uses Novum. You must own Novum to play Gold Rays at Night. But if you go to the Unify, just to do Dreamstate, and you say, this is Gold Rays at Night. So we go down here to Gold Rays at Night. Here it is as samples. And you don't need Novum. I made really fun artwork. If you click the little, kind of to like convey the energy and the vibe. So you have both the library in Unify format, which is just Dreamstate, or Novum format if you own Novum. And the sounds, they play differently. The reverb and stuff inside of Novum is really unique. So it rings out in a really unique way. But I could go to Dreamstate. This is Flutes in the Trees. I love this one. And here it is inside of Unify, where you don't need Novum. So, and then the third version is where I've gone through, actually, some of these patches, as you will see, are using multiple layers of Novum. So I have also saved the patches in native Novum format. So if you don't own Unify, you can go over here, and here are the patches that I've created. There's 25 of them. You save me. And again, think of each of these patches as kind of a template to call up. And now you could drag your own samples into this to see what it will do to them. So it's really, really fun. This area up here of the interface, this is B for bank. And if you click right here, you can see all of their banks, or basics as they call it, to see all the patches that are available inside of the factory patches. And then the user patches are here. To install the library, all you have to do is say reveal current user directory patch. And then there it is. You can put the folder in here. It currently ignores folders, which is kind of a problem. I hope they'll update that in the future so that it could be that you could select this in its format. But inside here are 25 patches. So Dreamstate, 51% off for the library, but it's 3 libraries in one. All 3 are over 1.4, 1.3 gigabytes in size. But they go all over the place. Beautiful sounds. I didn't take this all the way out to what I would consider Mega Magic Pads library. I was almost thinking of calling it Mega Magic Pads Volume 3, but I didn't make, these sounds didn't lend itself as much to like synth as well as pads. There weren't as many, so it's just Dreamstate. And you have real-time controls. And then there's all sorts of really cool BPM stuff that does really fun things like typical big skippy sounds, you know. I just spent Thanksgiving weekend couple days at the beach with my daughter. And I took her to one of our favorite beaches up here in Oregon called Manzanita. Very, very quiet. And there's a beautiful beach that goes for miles. And one part of it's called Nekahani Beach. And I sampled Nekahani Beach. So that's here. I actually recorded it in the dark. I went back at night when there's no one there, no dogs, no nothing. And in walking back, I got lost. And I stumbled into a babbling brook. So I sampled it as well. With the ocean in the background just softly back there. And so a couple of these up here, the Dreamstate itself, that's the latch. If you go down here to latch, high C gives you the ocean, wind, and then wind chimes, which is one of the Novum patches that I made. And then a really beautiful pad that you can play. So, Dreamstate, you have control over the different pads and the strings and stuff. There's also a BPM version of this, which has that, plus a really, really cool kind of a... Just let it ring out. Things just ring out. You might even hear a few clues for the next library. Uh-oh. Hi, Mark. Mark's asking about Break Tweaker. I have 3 libraries for Break Tweaker. Those libraries were made before Unify, and I never did make a library where I incorporated Break Tweaker into a library. I'm kind of hesitant to. We've done a couple. We've done the BBC Symphony library, which, wait, let me play the. If you have a latch patch, you play the same note again to turn off the latch. I also have Moody Piano at the Ocean. So no, there's no Break Tweaker libraries which have Break Tweaker combined with anything. But again, you can easily, I don't think I have the Break Tweaker libraries in my current database. I could add them, but you can add them with other drum grooves easily. They're all in sync. They play great. This is Moody Piano, so right? Yeah, Novum is one of my favorite synthesizers of 2022 by far. It's got a really special thing to it. And, like I said, it's one of the few granular synthesizers that's actually playable on mortal computers, you know? And again, it's so easy. If you want to change to a different piano, let's go down here. Let's go to Modart. There's Piano Tech 8. We could go over here and say, let's find something kind of like a Felt Steinway. Or I have the concert harp, so we could say harp and. it's just that easy to replace layer 3 with any plugin, with any sound you want to be the piano sound. I could say, Another thing I really love are I think I have Ample Sound, their guitar. Let's load that. And we could go down here to Dreamstate. Let's add something else. The OOS means only one sample, because I like the Omnisphere concept where one sample across a whole keyboard. It's a very different vibe than when you have 6 or 7 or thousands of samples across the keyboard. So let's say Unify layer. Let's add something like Sleeping by a Brook. And what's fun is you can open up the Unify layer. One of the advantages of loading something as a Unify layer is the knob assignments are brought in to your new patch. And if you go to the settings in Unify, you can tell that when you load knobs, whether to embed all macro knobs, which means that automatically these knobs in the main Unify layer this isn't changing the other layers that I've added. I prefer to not have it do that, but if you want it to, you can turn that on right here with the embedding into Unify option. By the way, one of my favorite free plugins is the Ample Sound. I mean, as far as, let's see, Ample Sound guitars. AmpleSound.net. They have just by far some of my favorite guitars, and they've added so much more to it. But make sure you go to the download page, and they have free versions of Cloud Drum, the bass, and this guitar. And it's missing a few note samples and stuff, but it's still playable, so you can play it. So, just some free tips as we go along. I'm always giving you guys tips. And if you are new to Unify, if you have questions, thank you, Days. I want to give hugs to all of you. Is it true you're working? So I'm not working on a library for the Jim. I'm not working on a library for GX80. We'll probably have unified patches for it. I'm about to release the unified signs library for Cherry Audio signs. That's in the process of being unified right now. We'll be releasing a unified version of all of the patches that come with the GX80. But I'm not working on a library for GX80 at this point right now. Yeah, so gonna have to get Novum now. Sure, of course. Any update on macOS Ventura compatibility? Shane has updated his computer. Thank you, Toby. Appreciate it. Shane has updated a computer to Ventura. He has installed Unify. It works perfectly. So there's Shane saying, hi, Shane. Saying it's working. If you have questions with Unify, that's why we do these every Saturday, just to make sure that everybody is getting the most out of Unify. If you don't have the answer here, Unify support at Unify support at pluginguru.com is our email. We were happy to help you via email with any problems you might be having. A few more patches inside of this library. It's 60 patches. There's some really nice bells. I really love the electric piano Dreams. I don't do enough patches with the built-in electric piano. We just have some really nice samples. I got permission from this gentleman 3 years ago when we released Unify to include his Rhodes. It's nice. And use the mod wheel so you can bring it down. Right? So you have this in the library. One of my favorites is Burning Man at 4 a.m. I had kind of a interesting artwork. Cool Kindle. That we'll release those for sure. But anyway, check this out. This is, I kind of got carried away. All 32 knobs are assigned to parameters. And I have literally gotten lost playing this for hours and hours. Just play one note. Well, nice Dreamstate pad. It's minor, so play in minor chords. Ready to. So this concludes the live stream. I'm gonna just play live. Hear that little reverb ad? That's thanks to CC Writer on the drums. CC Writer is our MIDI CC. And this layer of drums, watch right here, all it's doing is it's bringing up this knob that is assigned. Here's the funny shape that I did. It's doing both high pass filter, and if I want, I could just go like this. That's how easy it is to modulate and change things, right? Let's double click to have that go away. So as far as knobs go, you have control over all sorts of things. There's all these really fun layers. I did kind of an airwave approach. Bass. And then you have controls like the mod wheel. Bring out the kick. On page 3, if you want to bring up the snare, it's actually a clap. Bring up the filter kick. Party's getting going a little bit more. You go to the drums. Get a little funky reverb. And then if you want, you can go over here to like things like literally hours can just melt away. I think we do have it in PDF somewhere. I think Shane might address that. Anyway, Burning Man will keep you. Future West is also fun for another. And then Nothing But Chill. It starts off with just. But if you want, you can turn the drums on. Turn the drums back off. The shaker sound is really, really interesting. Check this out. This is actually gold rays at night with a pump house shape of this. And then the filter, this noise, here, let's move this over so you can see if I bring this down. As I bring this down, it brings down the depth. So it's actually got a chord in it a little bit, but it's a shaker. And because of this, you can click and drag the timing to, I just loosened it a little bit up so it's not perfectly grid timing. It's very easy to just go right here and play with these parameters. So there's all sorts of fun things to dive into if you want to get into some deeper programming and so forth. Each one of the patches that are with an O at the end means it's one of the original samples that I sampled from Novum. And so I have artwork for those. Yes, the 60 patches in Unify are very different. If you go up here and actually say like O or your search, you'll get the 17 patches that I sampled from Novum right here. So you can go through each one of these, like the Wind Chimes in Heaven. If you go to Dreamstate for Novum, you will also find Wind Chimes in Heaven, but it sounds different because it's played from Novum. Whereas I captured a sample to make the version that you hear inside of the Unify library. Also, again, inside of Novum, for the effects, this clouds and reverb are wonderful, very long, very, very long effects. So a number of these pads are going to play in a very different way. Give it a second to load the samples. And I took the filter resonance part out for the sample that I did for Unify. But when you stop playing, you have this reverb that's just going to go. So it's very different. In Novum, Unify is a little bit more like, you know, my Korg background with just making samples that are playable are going to make it so that it doesn't ring on for 12 seconds because that's not useful to anybody in a live situation. You know, this is cool for vibey stuff and so forth, but when I'm making patches for my libraries, I'm using my voicing standards and stuff so that they can play. But it fades out. You know, it's more musical, applicable to more people in different contexts. Right? So, anyway, this is a very, very fun library. I'm really happy to have been able to get it done. Aquanuts is one of my favorite pads I've made to date for There's this beautiful growth to it. And then it goes away. I also should point out, I'll be doing a video like this soon, but these are the samples used. I went for really long samples instead of lots of samples. So the samples are able to breathe, do their thing. Thank you guys. Appreciate the nice words. Thank you. Hands together, head bowed to all of you. Anyway, so came out really, really nice. Check this out though. Check out the version for Novum of Aquanauts. It's just And what's fun with Novum is just to sit and look at what the sound is doing, how it's interpreting. And again, the ring out is really cool. Also, they have shimmer here, which I'm using a little of. Take it up an octave. Do some really, really nice things. Also, I should point out Novum is MPE compatible. So aftertouch, you can see on the keyboard. I don't have a polyphonic keyboard, but if I had different notes, if I had a Hydrasynth or some keyboard that had polyphonic controls, it would be able to do its thing separately. I believe you have to go over here to settings to turn it on. I'm not sure, but the manual's right here to open up. They have the online manual, or actually I think it's a PDF manual as well to study. So that's definitely a wonderful synth. Came out to be a wonderful library. I'm glad I was put it together for you guys. I want to point out we have the Black Friday sale going on. Omnisphere's Omniverse 1 is the very first library I did for Omnisphere. I was part of the beta team. I didn't contribute any patches to Omnisphere. I did for Trillion, but I was working behind the scenes on the library. So shortly after Omnisphere came out, I released this 10 years ago, December 4th. So this library is 10 years old. When Omnisphere first came out, they didn't want any bass patches in it. They had Trilogy, and then they made it into Trillion. They wanted it to be that you bought Trillion instead of used Omnisphere for basses. It's kind of how Eric works. It's their concept is use Stylus RMX for drums, use Omnisphere for synthesizer parts, and use Trillion for bass. That way you need to own all three of their products. So my library was there's why there's so many basses is because it didn't come with basses. There was no dark bass inside of it when you first got Omnisphere. So I made a bunch of basses, both BPM basses. This library right now at the website is $2. So grab it. Let's see. Yeah. I was in Central Oregon and I was driving back and I was programming this on my MacBook with headphones while my wife at the time, Caroline, was driving. And so I remember still sitting in the back and seeing the beautiful mountains and stuff go by. Bring the mod wheel up and down to change all sorts of things. Circus fleas. The Devotion Highway patches. Love these. This is one of those where you can go to Cloud City. Go over here to Unify layer with drums. Go to the BPM drum patches. world percussion up here in the percussion. And then go back to Omniverse 1. And we're still in Unify layer, so I can go to here to BPM stuff. Let's get Dancing Sky. Oh, Devotion. Let's get another of the same and transpose it up. Let's get a bass. Let's get timpani boomer in. Take it down an octave. So much fun. So Omniverse 1, the first library I ever created for Omnisphere. I've sold, this is into the thousands of them sold at this point. To celebrate Black Friday and to celebrate it being 10 years old, it is $2 for this library. So grab this if you have Omnisphere and you don't have any of my libraries. I have 38 other libraries you will want to grab, so grab them. Enjoy. Okay, so we're going to start looking at some new software that's come out. Let's do Korg first, and then we will do the GX80 from Cherry Audio, which is wonderful. So from an initialized patch, I'm going to go over here. Those of you that are not familiar, Korg has, let's see, I've got the Korg Seasons Pass, or I should have, Korg Software Pass. They have a collection of wonderful, all of these the hardware synthesizers are now available in software form. And the original Wave Station, which I worked on, the original M1 I worked on, the Triton Extreme, Poly 6 I played in high school. I mean, there's so much history tied up with the Korg products. Wave State Native that I worked on, OP6 that I didn't work on, but my samples are in. And then they just released an update, version 4, which includes the Micro Korg, Electribe, and Chaos Pad. Chaos Pad is an application. I thought it would be a plugin that I could like put on a track. Currently, it's not. But the Electribe R is a drum plugin that's really, really cool. And the Micro Korg is one of the, actually, I believe it is the #1 selling hardware synthesizer of all time. Just as far as number of units sold. It's surpassed everybody at this point. We don't need this keyboard, so I'll move it over here. Anyway, I wanted to also get you the information on where to find it. Oh, my voice is in here. Test, 1, 2. It has a vocoder mode that can work really cool. If you click right here in the little hamburger, you've got to screen size, skin. We could go to red, which is really cool. Makes my eyes kind of tweak out. I like black. By the way, if you have a knob and you click and it like spins really fast, that's because you need to go here to the knob weight and modify it because it's default. For me, it was way up high. It should be about here. Also, you'll want to go to the global settings, turn sync to host on. It's not on by default. And also be aware, quite often they will turn on the latch button. So it will play with latch mode whether you want it to or not. But it's the full-on Micro Korg. Has all these different let's see, this is hip hop vintage, and I think you click somewhere. I had this working where it was changing the What's this? Save program overwrite. Oh, there you go. Click the little A to see which bank. Go to trans. There's all these categories. So depending on what genre of music you're doing, not like you can't use a fat bass in other genres, but there's that to work with. The rhythm plugin is really interesting. Let's see, let's go over here. Change this to Korg's Electribe R. You have all these patterns. All the sounds are made from synthesis. And it has a record mode where you can record. There's all sorts of different types of things like decimation. And you can play keys on the keyboard to probably different groups. The effects are great. The reverb. Very, very fun. I love Korg products. It's really cool to see them bringing out continued software. The Prophecy we've unified. We've unified a couple other of the plugins as well. So, and we plan to do more of the unified libraries for the different plugins. So those are included with the update. It's very much worth it, considering the hardware is so expensive and all that kind of stuff. It's great. Very well done. Now we get to have some fun. GX80 from Cherry Audio is the new, my goodness, where do you start with this one? This is a rather epic thing. It sounds great. Right? It's a little challenging to read some of the text. There's ways to get around that, I'm sure, with the interface and making it bigger text and so forth. But it's basically two different elements, just like the GCS80, but it has some of the other programming parameters and stuff found in the GX1. A real quick short story. My mom is a music teacher. I started with piano lessons when I was 4 years old with Yamaha Music School. She has taught she just turned 80. She has 20 students a week still with piano lessons. And her students take top honors at piano competitions. Even this last year, they took all the top prizes. She's an incredible, incredible teacher. She taught someone when I was in high school, Philip Kevrin, who lived 16 miles away in Vail, Oregon. In this little tiny corner in Eastern Oregon, Yamaha used to have a thing called the Electone Festival. And I used to enter the festival. I won Winter Regionals, which was in Sacramento. There's one time it was in Anaheim. Well, Philip Kevrin entered a number of years, and he would actually come like 300 miles to Hood River and have lessons with a teacher after he had kind of advanced past where my mom was in complex composition, performance and stuff like that. He won the National Yamaha Electone Festival, and they sent a GX1 to his house in Vail, Oregon. And then he went to Japan, to Tokyo, for the International Electone Competition against the other best winners of other continents in the world on a Yamaha GX1. And he didn't win, but I think he got like second or third. Incredible. But I never got to play with it very much, but we had a GX1 student. This is a hybrid mix of a CS80 and the GX1 with the drawbars and so forth. And it's very cool. The sound of this. It's great. Tons of patches, of course. Oh. Cool. Yeah, so you can use focus. Now you can see it in a zoomed in view where you can see there's ring modulator. You know, all those kind of sounds. Poly, of course, for so here's the top row. There's basically two synthesizers that you can split or layer. As you can see, they're layered for the two. Here's your balance between the two. You have tone selectors. So you can change the tone part that's then going through the synth parameters. And this is the first synth that's not $39. It's a little bit more money, but it's worth every penny just because of how well they did this. I don't have a CS80 or GX1 to compare with, but now we do have, if we want to do a comparison, I know that they've been working on this one for a long time, like a year or so. And if you want, you can set it into unison mode with 16 voices. Or put it back to poly and 16 voices and really great. Let's do this. Let's compare this. We'll say a new empty layer inside a Unify, because we're playing this inside a Unify. And we could go over here to Arturia CS80. And let's solo just the CS80. I'll tell you right now that unison bass in GX80 up here and all the presets, Brilliance is kind of like a filter, so And here is the CS80 from Arturia's Unison bass. Just as far as the sound, this is sounds nice. It doesn't have a lot of life, like, you know, just that energy, presence. GX80 just has so much more like presence. So if it was my money for one or the other, especially when, you know, for the money, I think you got the ribbon. Yeah, that's just beautiful. The aftertouch and everything, nice. They have a nice synthesizer here. I just finished last night Andor on Disney Plus, which is really, 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 really good. Incredible dialogue. And I can hear some of these sounds in some of the parts. They didn't use this, but like it would fit right in. A CS and a GX walk into a bar. Very expressive. Notice this one patch I play from soft. Very nice. So, this is something. Thank you, Mark. Yes. So the GX, this adds some cool things that haven't existed in the physical hardware world before because there's never been a merging of the GX and CS. I meant, is there a way to bring life into... is there a way to bring life into... Well, the Arturia is not bad. It's different. I think they're probably, you know, each of these synthesizers, like kids, they each have their own quirks and fortes. And when I sit and work with these different instruments, you will find... I mean, if I only had the CS80 from Arturia, I'm comparing back and forth between the two. So it's kind of a different thing than if you just have one synth by itself. I don't want to say anything. I showed this a number of years ago to a couple of my friends that have CS80s, and they're like, that's not a CS80. So this particular synth that Arturia makes has never been one that I've been like, oh, such a great the DX7 and some of the newer ones that they have. I mean, there's many of the Arturia collection that are just exquisite. But this one in particular, it just kind of has, sometimes there was a period of time when a lot of not a lot, but some software synthesizers seem to have almost like tissue on the speakers. Or it's like you feel that you're playing like a replica of it, right? And a lot of that has changed with a lot of the new synthesizers. When you play this the GX80, it feels like you're playing some sort of a living beast that has its own spirit. You know, it's not away from you somewhere that you're playing like the CS80 from Arturia has. You know what I mean? Can you hear that? It's playing it, you can just, now again, all of these have demos, so you're welcome to download the demos and try them. But it's got a really nice, just distinct personality to it. You know, it just feels like it's more real, even though it's still in software form. So it's pretty startling. And just for full transparency, I'm playing these both in Unify with no master effects or anything. So this is strictly just the sound of these instruments. Percussion, plex, volume, sound effects, but I don't think there's an ARP, so there's not as many things like ARP related and so forth inside of this. Brass. So, really nice. Yeah, well, you know, not everything is for everybody. If you have your go-to synthesizers and you compare this and it's not meeting what you expect, that's fine. I think this is really nice as far as, again, I don't have a hardware version I've played with to compare with, but for the sounds that it creates, it's... Well, Unified does sound better as far as just because, you know, I'm using effects and things that aren't, this is not optimum. If just alone, if I was to go to Unify and just use the master effects, replace layer, go master, put the optimizer light on. That alone just makes, that's one thing that I don't toot the horn on a lot, But you guys should know all the unified libraries, I'm using this little tiny simplistic little the mastering effects, which makes every synthesizer sound better than it does if you call it up inside of Logic or something like that. So when you're calling these patches up, they have just a little bit more spring in their step because of the mastering that we can do in our master effects layer. It's subtle, but it's not subtle. It's that last 5% of just from adding just a smallest, like tiniest bit of EQ, and the compressor's just bringing up half a dB and just doing a little thing, and then Loud Max is there to, and this is where you're getting just a little bit of saturation to it. So all the patches for all the unified libraries and everything in Unify, I have these tools to like make the sounds just sing in a really cool way. But the GX80 is trying to emulate a very cool vintage old synthesizer. It's not trying to do what we do inside of Unify for the most part. So, Axel, thank you, brother. I guess Aiden's talking about, are you talking about the Hydra synth? Yeah. Yeah, Toby, good point. Yeah, the Arturia CS80 isn't something I've actually called up, you know. GX80 is much more portable, good point. Yeah. All right, any questions from you guys? We're just about to the final conclusion of today's live stream. I want to point out that this video is sponsored by yours truly and my humble little website, pluginguru.com. And we do have Black Friday going on between now and Monday night. Unify is on sale. Third time it's been on sale. This is the only time since the first 3 months that it's been $59. We've never sold it for anything less than that. The Omniverse library, if you click any of these artwork for things, it will take you to the library for the specific artwork you select. So that's how you can see Dreamstate. I will be adding Dreamstate to the list here after the live stream. Also, in the video description, we have the unified library for Labs is now available. And if you want, start now if you want. I'm going to start making patches using all of the Labs libraries for a new library. Please put a Y in front of the patch name instead of a Z. And if you don't, I'll do that for you before I put it into the library. But we're going to make a new Y set of patches to go before the Z set of patches. Cool, Toby. Has a Cherry Audio GX80? It has not been unified yet, no. Can you show glass piano with GX80? Ivar, for you, I will, in hopes this will inspire you to finally buy Unify. Okay? So let's go over here to Cherry Audio GX80. That's fine. Let's go to keys. That's kind of nice. Go to Unify layer. Go Spitfire Labs. Go to, let's just type in glass up here. And since we're on Unify layer, we can just say glass grand and we could go here, try. Is the GX80 really supposed to be? Just for fun, let's do this. Go to the TX816 library, and let's also add the electric piano. And then on top of that, let's go to Dreamstate and add like a cool. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Jurgen. All right, you guys. What do I think of SoundPaint? SoundPaint is great. My dear friend Trolls has been working so hard. He has an update coming to SoundPaint. I can't wait to show you guys when it's available because it has like the most wonderful natural legato mode I have ever heard. I haven't played it myself yet, but really, really great. SoundPaint is some good stuff. So you should check out some of his work there. Some of his libraries for Contact are equally stellar. The Prepared Piano is one of my favorite libraries just because of those types of sounds and so forth. Oh, it's out? Well, then we'll show it next week. We need something to show next week. So we'll play with SoundPaint next week. There's a couple pitch. By the way, where is it? Is it Square Shifter? That is really fun using 2DX'd. I made these really cool. I'm really getting into swells. I'll give you guys a clue. In December, for your Christmas present, we're bringing out the Mega Magic cello, violin, and viola as a single Unify library. So I've been getting into swells and things that grow and go away. So you combine those with this, and you end up with just really, really cool. And notice how I let this have all the effects and do all the crazy. There's 3/3cc riders on this one. Doing splashes of reverb and going away. Whereas these guys are, let's see, they have a little bit of from the reverb from here happening. Disco strings. Okay, Toby. Gotcha. So, anyway, let's do our shout outs. Guru Nation, we always do shout outs so we get to see where in the world everybody is at. Shout out from Portland, Oregon. We love Black Friday. Lots of sales, people going crazy. It's like the last 2 months of the year, everybody forgets about credit card limits. It's so funny. I'm guilty of it myself. Bernie from Switzerland, Toby in the UK, Jeff, San Francisco. Good to see you, my friend. Atlanta, San Diego, Denmark. Hi, Kim. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. Why? Hey, hey, Richard. Cool. We are a global family, man. Just loving sound and inspiring. And Kasaka-san, domo arigato. So glad to see you here. Credit card. I know. Tell me about it. I mean, oh. The thing to do, I bought 3 PS4 games yesterday because they're like $50 games that people are selling for like $10. So, oh, it's crazy. Hanging out in Mordor. Vermont. Cool, Peter. Good to see you all. Well, thank you for joining. Daniela, hello in Germany. Greetings to you all. We will see you next Saturday for another fun hangout. We'll be in December. My gosh, already December. So anyway, thank you to you all. Right. This is like, I think, isn't November when all the credit card companies send out the email saying your credit card limit has been increased. I think I got one of those. So how can you have time to play PlayStation? Well, I have to take breaks, and when I take breaks, I like to play Elden Ring and other video games. So, you know, call it a sickness. Either that or walk my dog. Do a lot of dog walking. Anyway. Of course. Thank you all. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Taylor. I couldn't do this without their help, of course. Shane being the software guru to my plugin guru side. All the code for everything you see here is created by Shane. So let's do a shout out to Shane. Shane, shout out. And to Taylor, got to give Taylor a shout out. It's his first year being married. And anytime you write email to our tech support lines, Taylor most likely will be replying to you. And he is... Thank you. Appreciate both of you guys being on the team. Couldn't do it without them. So onward and upward. Bless you all. We're thankful. I posted an interesting post on Facebook, and I didn't know that it'd get as many likes as I did. But just remember to be thankful for what we have, not angry at what we don't, because we have so much. We're blessed with so many freaking plugins. It's not even funny. And Unify lets you play with all of them. So life is good. All right. See you all next week. Good. I'm glad you liked the demo of the GX80. It's a great synth. They did a great job on it. And we will see you soon. All right. Cheers, everybody. Be inspiring and humble.